Welcome folks, one and all, to Let's Replay Mystic Quest, released in 1993 for the Nintendo Game Boy in Europe. In North America and Japan, this game was released in 1991 and was known as Final Fantasy Adventure. Developed and published by Square, Mystic Quest is a spin-off of Final Fantasy and the first game in the Mana series, and has gameplay similar to The Legend of Zelda, but with role-playing elements. It was remade twice in its time, first in 2003 for the Game Boy Advance, that version is called Sword of Mana, and changed minor points in the plot and the gameplay substantially. The second remake is far more recent, coming in 2016 and being released for mobile devices and the PS Vita. That one is called Adventures of Mana, and sticks far more faithfully to this version of the game. This version of the game that is near and dear to my heart. I love Mystic Quest. It is a game that has stuck with me all of this time, even though I did get stuck at one point for a very long time, but eventually I got past that point. And completing the game was one of those moments where you finish a game and you just get overcome with emotion. That was one of the moments that I've had with only a few games, and Mystic Quest was one of them. Mystic Quest was a game that I bought not because it was made by Square. I didn't know anything about Square's reputation about making great games at that time. I got it because there was a suit of armor and a sword on the front of the box, and that told me this is a role-playing game. You know, it might have not told me that. It could very well have said, this is actually some sort of adventure-fighty game. But it actually said, this is a role-playing game. My instinct could have been wrong, but it wasn't wrong, and I'm glad it wasn't. Because getting this game was a fantastic decision. This is a game that I really enjoy, and I think the gameplay is held up rather well, even though the game has its flaws, and there are numerous flaws. But we're going to be looking at the game once again, folks. We have no continue file to continue with. We have to start a new game. Start from the beginning. Start the Mystic Quest. Let's go, shall we? Let's see just why I love this game. There's actually plot at the beginning, which was unheard of for all the other Nintendo Game Boy games I owned. Tree of Mana grows with the energy of will from each and every thing of this world. It grows high above the clouds, in the air, on top of Mount Illusia. Legend tells that it gives eternal power to the one who touched it. Dark Lord was trying to find the way to the Tree of Mana to get the mighty power to conquer the world. Because of course Dark Lord is doing that, because Dark Lord is evil and wants to take over the world, and we're going to stop him. Hopefully. But first, we need to select our name. We only have 4 characters with which to pick our name, but I have one in mind. With a J, and a Y, and an M, we shall be known as Jim, with a Y, because fantasy! And pressing start makes us select a second name, this time for a girl, and we're going to call this person Sky, also with a Y, because that's how you correctly spell it. And by pressing start, we're immediately thrown into combat, to teach us how combat and movement works. Now fight! This creature that's coming out, a giant cat-like monster, may seem dangerous, but it's not going to come to the bottom half of this screen. It's just going to move in a W pattern and sort of look threatening. It's quite easy to defeat, although we can get hit if we're not careful. We have 19 health right now and 6 magic points that we can't use because we have no magic. We have 50 gold, and that bar at the bottom, when it fills up, we'll be able to do a special move. Pressing start brings up the menu. We can look at our items, we have none. We can look at our magic, we have none. We can look at our equipment, which is a broadsword and a suit of bronze armor, helmet, armor, and shield. And by pressing the B button, we can cancel out into the battle itself. Pressing start again gives us the option to ask. We don't have anyone to ask anything of. And pressing select will bring up this other menu, with a map, a status screen which gives us all of our stats, of which we have 2 across the board for stamina, power, wisdom, and will. And we currently are good, which means that we have no status effects afflicting us. We have 0 out of 16 experience. This will change as the game goes on. And we also can save, but saving at this point really isn't worth it. We move with the D-pad, we can't move diagonally, and pressing the A button, we attack with a swing. And if we hold the direction we're moving in and press the attack button, we jab, which I think does more damage. We want to kill this enemy here, so we're going to hit it once, and then again. This enemy really isn't that threatening. It's meant to look threatening, but it isn't a threat. And even if we were to take some damage, we'd regain all of our health after this fight. We just need to hit a few more times, and this foe is gone. Victory! Jim was a fighter of Empire Glaive. Now they sound like an evil empire, because they are. Jim and friends were forced to fight every day, just for the entertainment of Dark Lord. And Dark Lord is evil, remember, so the Empire is evil. Many fighters have fallen from their wounds. Like this person, Jim's friend. Willie! Jim, Mana is in danger now. We must let the Gemma Knights know about it. Gemma? Sibo guard at the falls. He is a Gemma Knight. He should know what to do. Gemma? Mana? What are they? Willie? Willie! Willie passed away. When I was younger, I couldn't help but smirk at that statement. But even now, it's a little difficult not to. But this game sets the tone immediately, by having somebody die. This game has its grim and dark moments. And you won't move until you select any direction to move, and if you move into Willie's corpse, you initiate dialogue. Willie, I'll avenge you. And we'll try our best to do so. You engage conversation by walking into people. If you walk into enemies, you get hurt, so it's best to attack them rather than walk into them. We can only move north here in this room. That is a door. Moving into it will open it, unless it's locked, whereupon we'll need a key. There are 2 NPCs here that will walk around at random. We'll talk to you first. The entrance for the monster leads to outside. Take your chance. He's telling us that once the monster in that arena has been defeated, we could use that exit to get out of the castle. We may try that. This person is important. We'll be meeting this person later, maybe. How do you know? Because they have a name. This is Amanda. I'm sorry about Willie. We all are. We have to get out of here. I want to go home and see my little brother. Maybe you'll get that chance. Maybe. But we're going to take our chance and try and escape the castle. We need to do the thing that Willie wanted us to do. Go see Bogard and warn him that Mana is in danger. Now fight! We'll fight this opponent again, and this opponent isn't any more difficult than they were last time. So we're just going to take it slowly, take our time and try not to get hit, because we're not going to heal this time around, and we don't have any items that will restore our health. A few more hits and then this foe will be defeated, and defeated it was, and by the way, those explosions will hurt you. Now for some reason this gate is open, and we can make our escape! Carefully does it, Jim. Careful. Oh, Jim, you're so clumsy. But you didn't get hurt, even though that was quite a long fall. Remember that. We can walk right, and this entrance is shut. I'm surprised that nobody's trying to capture us, but hey, we'll take our opportunities when they come and try to escape. We can't go this way, because there are trees in the way. We'll be able to deal with trees at a later point, but not right now. And there are 2 ways we can go this way. We can go left, or we can go down. Going down and around reveals nothing but a very, very long waterfall. I hope we don't fall down there. That's a long drop, we probably wouldn't survive. So there is only one more way to go, and that is left. And to the left is cutscene. Dark Lord and Julius? What's going on? A cutscene, Jim. That's what's going on. You say the manor trees above the falls? Yes, sir. The tree is in a shrine up there. How do I get there? Up the falls. Miracles occur sometimes, Sir Dark Lord. How? A girl has the key to it. Good. Work hard on it. Yes, sir. I'm going to disappear now. Uh-oh, I think we've been spotted. What? Who is it? Time to run, Jim! Quick, run to the right! Where are you going? That leads to the waterfall and a dead end! Now look what you've done, Jim! You're in trouble now! I won't let you leave here alive! And with a small push, we fall down the waterfall, and Jim dies horribly. And this concludes Mystic Quest. When we come back, folks, we'll surely be playing a different game, as there's no way Jim could have survived that fall. I think he survived that fall. Yes, he did. Ouch! Where am I? Where is this? This is the main game, Jim. Welcome to Mystic Quest, and to one of the greatest tunes that the Game Boy has ever made, in my opinion. I love the music in this game. It's stuck with me all of this time. This music is just fantastic. The music that they made the Game Boy make for this game is just amazing. How they managed to get the Game Boy to sing like this. We're gonna move on now, because there's nothing for us here. If we look at the map, we can see how big the world is. Let's do that. We're currently here. There's a town a little bit over to the east. We're going to be going to that town. But first, we're going to be fighting enemies, like this foe that throws daggers. And we found some candy. How do we get rid of that treasure chest? By hitting it with our sword. That's how mighty our swings are, or more likely how rubbish the chest is. This enemy takes 2 hits, and the mushroom enemies take 1 hit. We're just going to walk around and kill enemies and get some money. We're going to need a fair bit of money. If we head north here, we'll see enemies that we really shouldn't be fighting right now because we aren't tough enough. And if we move back into an area that we just cleared out, we will find more enemies to defeat. You saw that I was pushing an enemy there. That's because I have a good enough shield to do so. The shield won't block projectiles, however, if we're not facing in the direction the projectiles are coming from, and if the shield isn't good enough. We also want to get a level up. Every time we get a level, we can pick a stat that we want to improve. We could go this way, and this way leads to the village. We're going to be going in here, and talking to every NPC that we encounter, like you. Hello, young man. Welcome to Topple. Thank you very much. We're going to go in here and talk to whoever is inside, like you. The old man by the waterfalls is such a weirdo. But we're going to see him. He used to be a gallant knight, but not anymore. Well, that doesn't sound good. Dark Lord is looking for a girl, I heard. Do you know a girl with the secret of the Tree of Mana? No, I don't really know anybody anymore, apart from Amanda, who was, back in the castle. I hope she's alright. Maybe we'll see her again. There is an inn. We could go to that inn, but unfortunately this NPC is in the way. And if you do so much as, brush by an NPC, they'll give their one line of dialogue. Hello, Mr. Innkeeper. Pressing up here will instigate a conversation with him. Howdy, 10 gold pieces a night. Wanna stay? No, thank you. And then we leave. At least he's like, well, why are you even here? And then you depart. Most other games will just let you hang around in the shop, even though you're not going to buy anything. So let's go up here and talk to, you, old man. Tree of Mana is watching us from above the clouds. It's protecting us from evil things. Do you want to be more specific about what evil things? No, I'm just going to run into a wall. Ow. Alright, we'll leave you to it, old man. There is one place we do want to go here, and that is here. There is an item shop, and there is also a weapon shop. Dark Lord is so cruel, I can't stand it anymore. Are you going to go and take up arms and fight him? No, I'm just going to run around and keep saying that I can't stand it anymore. Fair enough, you keep doing what you're doing. We're going to look in here and see what items are available. Like, for instance, items we can buy that we can use out of combat, or in combat. Like Cure, which will heal our health. Pure, which will remove poisons. Eye Drop, which will remove blind. And Keys, which will open doors. We most certainly need to make sure that we have plenty of keys, because keys are very important for dungeons where you need to navigate around and open the doors and not go back to town and get more keys. If you end up going back to get more keys, you'd have to fight your way back to where you were and then open the door. Usually the game is generous enough to give you a room with enemies that may drop a key, but that drop chance is rather low. We don't want anything that this guy is selling, however. We do want something that this person is selling, though. They're selling something quite good in the weapon shop. They may be selling a broadsword, which we already have, but there is an iron helm for 140 gold. Unfortunately, we don't have 140 gold, we only have 75. We actually want about 300 gold before we move on from this area. We don't have enough gold pieces to buy that, I'm afraid. So we're going to head down here, and then you appear to be stuck over there. That can happen sometimes when the NPCs spawn randomly on the map. They can spawn somewhere where you can't talk to them. That's okay, we didn't want to talk to you again. Hello, young man. Welcome to Topple. Are you the same person as over here? You are the same person as over here. And unfortunately, this person is walking right where we want to go, over that bridge, so we're just going to leave, and then come back, and then they'll have moved. Much better. Apologies for the interruption there. Let us carry on exploring the surroundings of this town. And now that the bar at the bottom is full, by pressing the attack button, we spin around the sword crazily and deal lots of hits. And hopefully this enemy will get close enough and get hit by the sword. We can't reach that enemy, they're across water, we can't cross that. We gained a level up, we get all of our hit points and magic points back, and then we get to select our growth type, which means select the stat you want to increase the most. If we select power, we will increase power by 2, stamina and will by 1, and wisdom by nothing. Next level we'll select wisdom, and then we'll improve everything to 4. I like to level up symmetrically. If you level up asymmetrically, you can make a character that hits really hard, or is really good with magic, or who has the special bar that allows you to do the special attacks fill up really fast. But in general, I like to be a well-rounded character, but for now, we are not well-rounded. And we have more attack. We also have more will and more stamina. We want to hit these foes over here. Even though they're on the other side of that river, if they move a little bit too close, we'll be able to stab them. It's a very small river, but we have a very long sword. And unfortunately they can throw knives through that bush, which isn't great. Would you like to step closer, sir? No, you wouldn't. Oh, you would! Excellent! You have now been defeated. And there is nothing here but even more enemies. We want to get enough money to get that iron helm. That iron helm is a nice item and gives us a fair amount more defense. We're not that far off. The enemies at the beginning do give an impressive amount of gold. Here is an area where we can move over to more dangerous locations. We don't want to do that right now, however. A few jabs there, and we get a candy. We'll hit that chest, and we can actually sell the candy for a bit of money. We don't want to fight those foes at all, they're very dangerous right now. Or there, either. I suppose we'll head up and fight the enemies here. There are 3 enemies that we can defeat, like you and you. And if we leave and return, there'll be even more enemies, like you. There should be, yep, a few more enemies here that we can defeat. We've nearly got enough money for that helmet. We want that helmet. Would you like to step closer? They do walk around entirely at random, and sometimes they just spin around. And if you run out of health, you die. There are no ways for you to recover from death. You have to either load the game, or start again from the very beginning. We're going to try our best not to die. You do need to move a little bit away from an area that you've already cleared for enemies to reappear, but it's a pretty, it's not that far you have to move. Ready to go this way, and fight you two, get even more— oh, careful, we don't want to die here. So what we're actually going to do is, pretty soon we're going to return to town once we have about 150 gold. That's a good idea. We do need to be very careful, however. Aha! Never mind, we leveled up, which means that we now can select Wisdom, and all of our stats are now at 4. And we have more hit points, we now have 20. And we're now going to stab this foe here. And we managed to defeat that foe quite capably. Anyone else that I can best, like down here? Not yet, but if we go this way, there'll be foes that we can defeat. Like you! You managed to hurt me, but that's okay, because you are now gone. And up here are even more opponents. There is a little bit of grinding you need to do in this game, not that much though. If you do a little bit at the beginning, you can generally keep up with the game's items that they offer you, and also the enemies in terms of strength. You don't need to do that much grinding, I'm just doing it because I really want that helmet right now, and I'm specifically avoiding walking to the left there, because something important is going to happen there eventually. We have enough money, however, we might as well defeat these opponents as well. We're going to need even more money in a little bit. About another 150. You heard that ting noise? That's because that knife hit our shield and did no damage. It's always nice to hear that noise. We're going to ignore those foes and return back to Topple, as we're going to buy some very nice items. Mainly that helmet. It's better than nothing. Let's go up here and buy that item. Unfortunately, you didn't get in the way. Hello, sir. I'd like to buy that helmet. Bought iron helmet. Excellent. We should equip that right now. You'll see here that we have AP and DP. The AP, I think, is attack power, and DP is defense power. Now I remember. We'll equip that, and it goes up from 8 to 9! We are indestructible now, and we'll sell this for 32. We might as well actually sell this as well. Actually, I think we'll keep that for now. You never know when having some cheap healing might come in handy. The candy does heal you, the cure heals you a lot more, though. Would you like to move? Because I want to use that inn right now. Thank you very much. And also, there is an inn ditty, and it's quite a catchy one too. We do want to stay. Good night. We are well rested and ready to go. And you're in the way. Not anymore. And when we come back, folks, we'll explore this area a little more. There's a very important thing that's going to happen if we move just a little bit away from this town and head in a direction that we haven't been to yet. And so, I'll catch you next time, folks. And when we come back, the adventure will truly begin, as we try to topple Dark Lord and visit Bogard at the Falls as Willy wanted us to. We shall avenge you, Willy. You will be avenged. So I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Later.